So I've been getting hit up a lot recently about credit cards, loans, and borrowing money. And more as we draw nearer to Christmas, which is concerning, and as job layoffs announcements stack up daily. And I must share a warning for the viewers of this channel. I don't mean to scare you, but I need to tell you guys, and that is that it is a must that we steer clear of these holiday shopping gimmicks. Tempting store credit cards are the absolute worst. Many retailers offer shoppers their own store branded credit cards, and they aggressively promote them around the holiday season. Now, they come with benefits such as special pricing or discounts for card members, which makes them look more attractive to frequent customers. But what they don't tell you is that most of these cards also come with extremely high interest rates that are much higher than bank issued credit cards. So a quick question for you guys. Comment your answers down below. Can you guess which retail credit card had the highest APR? Or can you guess which industry? Now, I'll give you a hint. It is affecting millions of Americans right now, and I have mentioned several times that this necessity is the future of and will be a profit center for so many businesses and companies moving forward. Comment your guesses now, and let's see who got it right later on in the video. All right, so these retail credit cards can be so tempting with instant in-store discounts for applying, but also can be traps too for unsuspecting shoppers who lack the knowledge, education, and most important, financial discipline to utilize credit card leverage debt responsibly. The sales pitch will probably sound something like this. Hey, do you want to save 10% on today's purchase? Now, I know it sounds tempting, but a lot of the time that's not worth it. Either because you are paying an interest rate that exceeds the rewards, or maybe in reality, it is just not a store that you're going to be shopping at all that often. So creditcards.com found the average store-specific credit card charges 28.22%, while the average retail company branded card charges just over 25%. And both are significantly higher than a year ago. Thanks, Jerome. And what is even more shocking is that creditcards.com found 24 retail credit cards at big, well-known retailers that charge 29.99%. Now, these include stores like Kay Jewelers, Zales, TJ Maxx, Wayfair, and Dick's Sporting Goods. So in addition to instant in-store discounts and future deals for card members, retailers also promote them as having a deferred interest rate, meaning no interest is charged for a set period of time. And the term deferred interest is a real gotcha, because what this means is that if you don't pay the full amount by the time the clock runs out, then they can go back and charge you retroactively for all of the interest that you would have accumulated throughout the entire term. That's a lot of money. And that can be a real shocking kick in the pants. Meanwhile, store employees often receive commissions when shoppers sign up for cards, which contributes to their aggressive promotion at checkout, which can happen while shopping or even when you first walk in the door. Don't believe me? Go visit a Bass Pro Shop. Then come back and tell me I'm crazy. And approval is usually instantaneous, with store cards often approving even consumers with lower credit scores and bad credit. Surveys show that 7 in 10 consumers who have applied for a store credit card have done so impulsively. Now, the real question would be, how many now regret that impulsive decision? So the impact of 29.99% interest rate is harsh for sure. And let's say that if the shopper charged $1,000 and only made the minimum payments, the shopper would be in debt for 51 months and pay $775 in interest on that $1,000 purchase. Not worth it, folks. And with the way Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve are raising interest rates, that interest payment could be more. And can you guess which retail credit card had the highest APR? The primary industry and commodity that is damaging paychecks, savings accounts, and crushing credit card balances every single day of the week. What I've described in several of my past videos as what will be affecting millions of Americans right now, and what I consider to be the necessity tied to the future of mega profits for so many businesses and companies. And if you guessed fuel, gas, diesel, well, that wasn't a bad guess, not at all. But in fact, the answer is food. The future of food. Remember, that is where they're going to get you, okay? So the highest retail credit card APR, according to findings from creditcards.com, was the Kroger Rewards World Elite MasterCard, and cards offered by 9 of Kroger's affiliated brands, which topped out, and get this, a staggering 30.74%. Now, Its report said that higher interest rates have the potential of costing retail credit card holders about $1.6 billion in additional interest charges. Ouch. At a time when Investopedia is saying that balances on credit cards and personal loans hit record highs, which is posing a very difficult time for consumers who are trying to navigate high inflation and rising interest rates, with many doing just that and having to juggle job loss, eviction, foreclosure, relocation, and possible homelessness at the same time. And so it should come as no surprise that credit card and personal loan debt reached record levels in the third quarter of 2022, as consumers face higher costs of goods and services as well as higher interest rates. And according to TransUnion data, these trends indicate that consumers are likely turning to credit cards and unsecured personal loans as a way to cover their expenses amid mounting financial pressures. Michelle Ranieri, Vice President of U.S. Research and Consulting at TransUnion, she said in a statement that as long as employment numbers remain strong, there should continue to be a steady flow of consumers seeking access to new credit products, credit cards, and personal loans in particular, and currently an ample supply of lenders willing to offer credit to them. Now, in my opinion, these employment numbers need to have an asterisk besides them, but more customers are gaining access to additional credit and financial lines as the U.S. employment scene remains strong. As the economy supposedly added 261,000 jobs in October, average hourly earnings only increased by 4.7% from a year prior. So clearly, falling far behind the reported rate of inflation and, well, behind the actual rate of inflation. And credit card balances hit $866 billion in the third quarter, which is up 19% from the same quarter in 2021. And according to TransUnion's quarterly credit industry insights report, among Gen Z and millennial borrowers, credit card balances increased 72% and 32% respectively. Balances for private label credit cards or store branded cards were up 7% to $122.1 billion, which is a troubling trend and a sign of what is to come. But we will have to cover that on another video. Meanwhile, personal loan balances climbed to $210 billion, up 34% from the third quarter in 2021. Much of that growth was fueled by increases in lending to borrowers with subprime credit. The total number of personal loans hit 26.4 million, up from 21.6 million in the second quarter, and delinquencies for most credit products are maintaining and not experiencing any decline either. In fact, they've been rising the past year, particularly among subprime borrowers. So the rising cost of goods and services driven by higher costs in housing, food, and gasoline is contributing to tighter consumer budgets. Consumer prices rose 7.7% year over year in October, down from an annual growth rate of 8.2% in September, but well off the Federal Reserve's target inflation rate of 2%. And to try to combat high inflation, the Fed has been regularly increasing its benchmark interest rate. It raised its benchmark rate by 0.75% or 75 basis points to a target range of 3.75% to 4% in November, making it the sixth rate hike of 2022. So when the Fed's rate increases, interest rates on other financial products such as credit cards and personal loans often change in sync. For consumers, this means that the cost of financing is rising, which can cause financial strain. This strain is felt by families and businesses, with the strain on businesses having a huge impact on family income and savings, while strained family income and savings further pulls down businesses with less shoppers able to buy their products. And this is quite the conundrum we are facing, folks. So TransUnion data also showed that mortgage originations were down 47% in the second quarter of 2022 compared to a year prior. And so as home prices have been rising, homeowners are taking out fewer mortgages but more home equity products, which means they're further leveraging debt. And the number of mortgage originations for home purchases declined 23% to 1.5 million in the second quarter, while originations for refinancing declined 74% to 425,000. And the average balance on new mortgages was $345,557, up from $305,140 a year before. And also, loan originations for home equity lines of credit, or HELOCs, and home equity loans increased 47% and 43% year over year, respectively. And so as we take a look at the numbers for new auto loans, we are also seeing a decline in the second quarter, pressured in part by a shortage of new vehicles. Car loan originations were down 14.9% from the year before, and down 4.1% compared to the second quarter in 2019, which was pre-pandemic. And consumer payments increased 13.7% to a now whopping $679 on new auto loans and 16.1% to $517 on loans for used cars as inflation and rising interest rates have reduced affordability. All this to say, and that is if you don't already know, borrowing money is continuing to get more and more expensive, and using expensive borrowed money, especially borrowed money from banks, lenders, and other financial institutions, to then go out and waste it on buying expensive goods and commodities or even investing in real estate and other assets, well, it is not what I would be doing right now. That's all I can say. Instead, I'm continuing to buy these stocks on the drop. I'm continuing to dollar cost average. I'm continuing to further develop passive income streams through stocks and their dividend payouts, and paying close attention to the company's valuations and P/E ratios. Now, if you haven't started and want to begin on your own passive income journey, click the link in the description, sign up, go ahead, pick up your free stock. And until next time, folks, I wish you all the best, stay blessed, continue on your grind, and stay motivated. See you on the next one.